Hello, everybody, and welcome. And hope you didn't find those questions too hard. Um, but I'm trying to get a little bit of trivia happening here, so to put your thinking caps on, and so hopefully you've got a few of them right, and we're going to try to get the new mix for the next batch coming, and so yeah. So anyway, it's nice to have you. If you don't know me, my name is Frank from Digging Richmond, and welcome to our show, our live show that we host YouTubers from around the world and North America come on and talk. We dig into what they do, how they do it, when they do it, so. Without further ado, I have my guest, Diggin With Deej. She is in the back room waiting, and she's under the lights, getting all warmed up. And I have a little intro of her show, as she starts her videos. So let's watch that, and we'll see Deej right after. And hello, Deej. How are you? Oh, have we got you muted here? Let me just. Okay. Yep, you're on. Gotcha.
I'm good. How are you, Frank?
Great. We're having a nice day with the group here. I was watching a couple other videos, live streams, and I was getting ready for you and I to chat but yeah, no, it's we're having a great time out here. And what about the weather for back in Michigan? What's happening back there?
It's 19 degrees. It was sunny today, though, so that was helpful. But no digging.
Oh, okay, you didn't go
Ground
out
is
digging.
nice and solid.
Yeah, okay. So, hey, Deej, I'm not familiar with Michigan and the areas that you live in. Could you kind of paint us a picture? What's it like around your area there? What is?
I I live in mid-Michigan, and I'm out in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I would be considered in the suburbs or even a little farther than that. So I'm in it, I just live out in the country.
Yeah. And so, have you been out there for a while, or is it something recent?
I recently moved back to where I'm at right now after living in the city for 26 years.
Oh, okay. All
My
right.
boys wanted me to move closer to them, so I
Yeah.
bought a house closer to them.
Oh, yeah. That's always nice to have family nearby. So especially nowadays, with this COVID thing, there people get locked up in the houses, so it's nice to have some family come by and visit you. So
Right.
yeah. So Deej, metal detecting. How did you get involved, and how did you get hooked on this?
Um, well, when I was a kid, I always wanted a metal detector. I asked for it year after year after year for Christmas. And way back then, it was considered a boy's hobby.
Yes, that's true. So
Now,
yeah.
granted, I was a tomboy,
Mm-hmm.
but and they were kind of pricey when they first came out with them. So I don't know if it was that my parents couldn't afford it or if they thought that I would tire of it easily. I don't know. But then later on in life, I was dating a guy and we had plans one weekend to go out, and he says to me, he goes, "Do you mind if we don't get together on Saturday?" And I said, "Sure, what's up?" And he goes, "My friends want me to go metal detecting." I said, "Oh, I have always wanted to learn how to do that." And he goes, "Really?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Well, you want to go with us?" I said, "Sure." He goes, I have an extra machine. So he took me out there, and
That was
that's
it.
that's it.
That got you
That's
hooked.
it. That's
Yeah.
all it took.
Yeah. So I guess I would, my next question was he your influencer in getting going? Was your boyfriend there?
Um, I had been watching Gypsy, I think, just prior to dating him, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So Gypsy was the one that got me hooked on it.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, got me interested in the hobby, but it wasn't until I actually got one in my hand and found that I liked it. You know, Rich was responsible for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's
So,
that was the thing. Like when talking with you and ambient girl, like I'm talking to a lot of the lady detectors, and so I'm going to be having them on the show and just kind of getting their feedback on how they got going, because like you say, it was a man's hobby and man's sport. So
mhm.
but there are some really incredible people, females out there detecting, and they've got some great videos that they've put together, and some great finds, and yeah, they're just growing, leaps and
Yep,
bounds.
our
So
numbers are definitely growing. Over the
yeah,
last year, I've seen it almost double.
yeah, no, it's quite something. Now, in terms of machines, what kind of machines are you hunting with currently?
I have three that I currently use. I use the Ace 400, the
Hmm.
Garrett Ace 400. I use the Technetics T2 Plus, and I recently acquired the Nokta Macro Simplex.
Okay.
Okay. My favorite is the Technetics T2 Plus,
Okay.
hands
Who
down.
who makes that one? I'm not familiar with that. What company?
First Texas.
Okay.
First Texas.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really known too much about that, so that's
Now,
interesting. Yeah.
Technetics has been around for many, many years.
Yeah.
At one time, they were the top deepest detector on the market. Now
Okay.
they're ranked in the top three.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Wow. It's just yeah, that's good to know. So that's your favorite machine currently. So
That's my
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's my favorite. I should say this. That is my favorite machine that I use on home properties and fields.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I'm in a park, if I'm hunting a park or a school, my favorite machine is the Ace 400.
Okay.
And then I purchased the Nokta Macro Simplex to do water hunting because I've never been able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that
So,
the Nocta is a waterproof machine, so you're able
yes.
to get in there. Now, I guess Michigan, I guess you wouldn't have the salt water, so because the salt water is a tough thing on the machines. That not all the machines are able to kind of handle the salt water
Right.
setups in there.
But
So
I go and visit my brother. Normally, I go to Florida once a year, but with the COVID, I didn't go this year.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
and I wasn't able to do anything but dry beach hunting
Okay,
with the
okay.
machines that I had. But with
Yeah.
the Simplex, I'll be able to do wet sand.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's nice to. I know that there's a lot of people, even my area here locally, they're getting into that simplex, and I guess it's for the price what you're getting. It's an incredible machine, So
Yes, it is. Yes,
so
it is.
that's I think that is the key thing with that. So I guess the other thing, I've been, listening and looking at your videos is you do a lot of, I guess, traveling on a budget and hunting. How do you do that? What are your secrets for that?
I'm very thrifty. Let's put it that way. When
Okay.
I started my YouTube channel, my boys started seeing what I was digging up. And they're going, Mom, you need a YouTube channel. My oldest helped me, told me how to do it. And I started my YouTube channel, and that was October of 2017, I believe it was, sometime in October.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had been watching YouTube for a while. And when I was trying to decide what machine I wanted, because I had been detecting with Rich and then ended up going through breast cancer treatment, survived that. And 6 months after I was done with my treatment, Rich dropped dead of a heart attack.
Oh.
So I went through a few months where I didn't do any detecting because I never had my own machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then my boys asked me one Christmas, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I want a metal detector, something to keep me active. And I kept watching, I watched a lot of YouTube. I was trying to decide between machines. And the Ace 400 was the closest thing that would fit my budget.
Yeah, yeah.
And there weren't, everybody was using the high-end machines, a lot of people.
Yeah.
There wasn't a whole lot of information out there on the Ace 400 other than the couple of videos that Garrett put out. And so I started using that machine and putting videos out for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided my channel was going to be about treasure hunting on a budget.
Yeah.
Because I truly believe this, it does not matter what machine you own, as long as you learn it and learn what it's telling you.
That's right.
You can't find it if you don't swing over it, number one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have found great stuff with the Ace 400, great stuff with the T2 Plus, and great stuff with the Simplex.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, all the machines, you're right.
Learn the machine.
Yeah, yeah. I know Terry over at Diggers Tyson, and he's an advocate for that. He used that Ace 400, and he knows that machine inside out, and the things that he finds is just it's really something. So, and that is the thing is you got to learn, you got to know your machine, so to find it and get your those tones, those little tones that it makes, once you hear it enough times, you can tell pretty well what you've got, So.
The Garretts are good with that. Mm-hmm. The Garretts are really good with that. I would have bought the Apex, except it wasn't waterproof.
That's right. I think a lot of people have the same thing.
I really like the tones on the Garretts.
Yeah, yeah.
But, because I've used Karen's Garrett AT Pro, which is waterproof.
Yeah.
And it basically works. They're very user-friendly machines.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. I think Garrett kind of dropped a ball on that, not making that totally waterproof, for extra couple of seals on there. It would really been a great, because, a lot of people even worried about washing it down, you can short it out or something. So it's
right.
So, and you have to get all the extra little bags to cover over it and what have you. So it's not that fun. Yeah. Now, in terms of your finds, what is the craziest thing you've found in your time of hunting?
What do you mean by crazy?
Just something odd that you would have thought.
I found a fastener to a hernia truss in an 1800s field, and I thought it was part of a fishing reel. I thought it was like a handle to a fishing reel, and then I cleaned it up and could see the manufacturer and the patent number and looked it up, and lo and behold, it was to a hernia truss.
Oh, wow.
Which is a belt, a big belt thing, and that was the tightener.
Yeah,
that I found, the handle that tightens it for a hernia truss. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I think somebody should do a list of all these finds that, like what you have, that hernia truss, and somebody else got something else. The craziest things that metal detectors find, it's just...
Oh, yeah. Now, every month I dig something weird, unusual.
Yeah,
weird.
Yeah. Now, in terms of what you haven't found yet, what is it that you haven't found that you'd like to?
Well, I just recently found my white whale, the Merc. Here I've metal detected on and off for almost 10 years now. Wow. And never dug a Merc, but finally I dug a Merc.
Yeah. Oh,
so now my new white whale is going to be anything seeded.
Okay.
I've never dug a seeded coin.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and I guess is your area noted for those sort of items to be found?
I live in a farming area, so most of the farmland that they were poor dirt farmers. So no, I don't find a whole lot of coins.
Yeah.
But I do find some. Last spring, I found a coin that I didn't even know what it was. I had to get a hold of Don and Mike, M.A. Lyman, Don Detection Connection to M.A.
Hmm.
Lyman to verify it. I said it has the markings like a trine, but it's made of copper. I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sent them a picture, and they're going, "Oh my God, you found a 3-cent nickel. Do you know how rare those are?" I found that in my home tragedy last spring. So
Yeah,
in the mud.
yeah. I guess now I know it is rare.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Now you also do a lot of collaborations. How do you go about doing collaborations with other detectors?
Um, we just make friends on YouTube after I've been watching enough, you
Yeah,
know, and I feel comfortable with them, and we just set stuff up.
yeah, yeah.
I've been fortunate. Uh, my first collaboration, I believe, was with Metal Pirate Girl in New York. And, I'm on a budget. So my
Yeah.
boyfriend drove me down to Toledo. I hopped on a train for, I think it was $90 round trip,
Okay. Okay.
and took the train from Toledo to Buffalo. And she picked me up in Buffalo.
Okay. Now
And
is
she
that a
had me
long
stay
trip?
with
Is it a
her.
long way from you? Is it a long
I think
ways?
it was like a 5 hour.
Okay.
Well, Toledo was like 2.5, 3 hours. And then um, the train ride was 5 hours, I think,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
because they're
So.
they're stopping at all these stations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I would have gotten in a train closer to where I was, they would have gone all the way to the west across Michigan and then all the way back.
Okay. Yeah. That's
It would
not.
have been a 19-hour train ride.
Yeah. That's not fun. Yeah. That's not
No,
fun. Yeah.
no.
Oh. Okay.
It'd be one thing if I was, getting a train cabin or whatever you call
Yeah.
those things,
Yeah.
but
Sleeping cabin. Yeah. Yeah. Or
sleeping
something.
cabin,
Yeah.
but those are like $400 for that
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They
I was
are.
like,
They
no,
are
no, no, we're not
something.
doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Now, the other thing is you do is and I was looking on to your stream is hiking and urbex foraging. What is that?
Urbex and foraging.
Yeah, what is that?
I just I do when Tanner was still able to do this with me, she and I would go hiking
Mm-hmm.
to the various parks. In the wintertime
Yeah,
when the bugs are gone and all that. We haven't been able to do that for a while.
yeah, yeah.
Urbex is, I think I have a video of a dump that I go through and see the age of stuff
Yeah.
in that.
Uh huh.
And that's at my 1880 permission in that.
Hmm.
And that's the urbex that I do. But I don't have any abandoned houses in my area, so
Okay.
I can't
Okay.
do that kind of urbex.
Yeah.
And then foraging, I forage every spring and summer.
Okay. Okay.
I forage for raspberry leaves for my tea. I forage for morel mushrooms. I pick berries for jam, that sort of thing.
Okay. So yeah. So you're a real outdoors person then. You know when
Oh
you do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
my I was brought up that way.
yeah. 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 All back to nature type thing. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm a
Um.
typical tomboy.
Yeah. Now, what has been your coolest permission that you've had?
I've had a lot of them, but
I know you
the
have. Yeah. Yeah. So.
the 1880 permission, because it's over 100 acres. It's going to take me years to get that done.
Okay.
And I brought friends there that have found cool things.
Yeah.
And then my home sited tragedy is an ongoing, because every time they turn the soil, it's like making new land to detect.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Every year I find more and more.
Yeah.
So I would say those are probably, and then my cellar hole permission for
Mm-hmm.
cellar hole archaeology.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now,
So
do you
those are my
share
three
your
favorites.
finds with the owners, or what kind of arrangements do
Most
you
of
make?
my finds get donated to the local museum for their area,
Mm-hmm.
donated by them, but listed as being dug by me.
Okay.
And what I do is I put them in these frames and that. Um, glassware that I find digging in the dumps, those just get donated outright by me. The owner of the 1880 permission has no, uh, she doesn't, she wants me to donate it in my name. She doesn't want me to donate it in hers.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
Yeah. Yeah. Now, your cellar hole digging, is it? I guess the homes are knocked down, and you would go into the cellar to dig and forage
right.
through that.
It's a cellar hole permission. That's all that's left. It's left over from an 1800s tornado that went through and destroyed the house.
Wow.
And that's my only cellar hole permission right now. Currently, I'm trying to get permission for another one.
Yeah.
But many, but not all, but many of my permissions are along the trek of this 1800s tornado that went through my area.
Okay.
And I've been researching this tornado and the people it affected, where their land was for over 15 years.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Very cool. Cool stuff. Now, what has been the biggest surprise, I guess, you've got in metal detecting? What
The biggest surprise. Biggest surprise find, you mean?
Well, I'm just surprised that, and just being in this hobby. What really surprised you being in this hobby?
I was surprised. I think I've had 3 or 4 people that I asked permission and said no. And out of those 3 or 4 people, 2 of them were friends.
Wow.
And when I asked them why, I said, it's okay, but I'm just curious why.
Yeah.
Well, we know you metal detectors all are out to get rich. I said, that's not what this is about at all.
Wow.
And one of them, I was able to change their mind.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that something about how people think?
Yeah. And then when I detected their parents' property, which was adjacent to theirs, because they were selling the house, I said, do you want me to detect it before you sell it? Because there's no guarantee they're going to let me do it.
Yeah.
And then I ended up finding a very rare Knights of the Maccabee token, Ladies of the Maccabee token. And I put it in a little frame, but the museum has been closed through COVID, so we haven't been able to donate it. But as soon as it's safe for me to go around them, because they're in their 80s and 90s.
Yeah, yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah.
But I've got it all ready to go in a little frame.
Yeah.
To give to them. So.
Yeah. Well, that's why I call you. I call you the token person because you've got it seems like every token that's available, and you've got a big jar of them.
Well, I purchased all of those.
Yeah. Okay. You got some cool stuff.
I found somebody that was selling them by the pound.
Yeah.
And there were still probably of the 11 pounds that I ordered. I probably pulled a pound out that were junk.
Yeah.
But the rest, there's a lot of car wash tokens in there, but presidential tokens, everything. So I purchased that thinking it was an inexpensive thing for me to give away that people might enjoy having.
Yeah. Well, people do. I mean, it's something that people put in their collections and enjoy them there. So, do you have any sort of restoration and repurposing items that you're working on right now?
Not right now. I do have a video on how to do ironstone crack restoration. And I finished that project until I can find any more. I think I'm missing 2 or 3 pieces, something like that.
Yeah.
So I told the owner, because I gave him the crack and he was thrilled with it. And he said, if the museum does a separate display about that tornado that went through, he'll be more than happy to donate it. And I said, well, if I find the rest of the pieces to that, I'll come back and get it and add them to it. So.
Okay. Yeah. Because I guess, sometimes it is trying to piece everything together and what have you. So.
Well, I got instructions from a curator of a museum in Detroit. So. The best way to do it.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. Now, do you have any road trips planned in the next while?
Not until COVID's over.
No. Okay.
With me
Yeah.
being a
I
breast
guess.
cancer
Yeah.
survivor, not a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. I guess for that you
Nope.
would, but yeah. I mean, I just thought if if there was something in the near
Well,
future
I
that you.
was supposed to go and dig with Gypsy in Texas, and then COVID hit, and I
Hmm.
couldn't do that
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that. But yeah, there'll be more once we get through this
Yeah.
pandemic.
Now, in your area, Deej, is there a lot of metal detectors that you can kind of get out and dig, or are you just by yourself, or?
Um, I know of some that are more in the city
Mm-hmm.
and that, but I try to keep my permissions to myself because I've
Yeah.
had so many people go on my permissions without permission.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I guess
that
it's
that
yeah.
happens a lot where I'm at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I try real hard not to film anything that they can figure out where I'm at anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's
And a
that's
lot
the
of
thing.
times
Yeah.
I have my boyfriend drop me off so my vehicle isn't even there.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's something because I know the fellows over in UK are like that too. They're very, they
Yep.
try to hide where they are because they got these night stalkers coming in there and just raid everything and especially if
Hmm.
they see that they're finding some really cool stuff. So
Right.
yeah, so they're very careful. But anyway, listen, we're gonna talk about we're gonna go over and we're gonna talk about um, a couple of photos that you sent us. So
Okay.
I'm going to let me just bring up my my screen here, and we're gonna talk about some of these, and you can tell the stories behind them. So this one here, and what is the story behind that?
I was on Jackson, my boyfriend and I, we were on our way back from visiting his friends, his college friends in Maryland. And I put out a request on social media looking for somebody in the Ohio area to detect with on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
And Don of Detection Connection answered that uh, post on Facebook and invited me. And this is what I dug. I
Wow.
dug a Bank of Montreal halfpenny token dated 1844.
Wow. Yeah, that is cool. Because that's a Bank of Montreal's is a Canadian bank too. I mean,
Hmm.
it's Canada, and then it's a half.
Well, this was
Yeah,
during the War of 1812,
yeah.
so
So
that's probably how it came down there.
yeah, that's a cool find there because it's still in pretty good shape, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's in real good shape.
yeah. Wow. Okay, and then this one here is
That is beautiful, isn't it?
yeah. You know the craftsmen from the old days, they were real craftsmen.
Yep.
You know, when they made something, they put everything into it, and they're just incredible. You know, incredible stuff.
Right.
Oh,
Right. Well, this is half of a Victorian cloak clasp.
what
So
is
this
that?
would have gone at the top of the cloak, their
Oh,
cape.
oh yeah, yeah.
There would have been two halves. It would have been turned sideways and they would have clipped together.
Okay.
So
Wow.
that's half of a Victorian cloak clasp.
Okay. So what is that made of? What is it?
Brass. It's
Brass?
made out of
Okay.
brass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. And you didn't find the other half around anywhere.
Not yet. I'm still looking for it. I'm
Yeah. I
still
mean,
looking for it. But
yeah.
that's from my home site of tragedy permission.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you can see the quality of workmanship, the tooling that went in, and the design of them. It just
Oh yeah.
it just I don't know. Nowadays, people, they call themselves craftsmen, but they really don't. I mean, it just that is just
Right.
it's a work of art. Is what it is
Yeah,
there.
it is
So yeah.
for sure.
So and then this one here.
Okay, that is the oldest relic I've found to date.
Okay.
That is a button that was made between 1829 and 1834, I think.
Wow.
And how I know it was only made between those dates was that the name stamped on the bottom of that, they were
Mm-hmm.
only in business together for 5 years, and then they both split their separate ways.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's the oldest artifact that I've found for the area, the township that it was in.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that ended up going back to the owner. They wanted to keep most of the things, but not
Yeah,
all of them.
yeah, yeah. Because that, I mean, it looks like it's almost brand new still. You know, it's such a
Well,
good shape.
it's gold gild on this side, and the other side was just plain. There was
Oh,
no
okay.
gilding left on the other side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that something? Yeah, that is a cool piece of uh, you found there. So, and
Right.
then yeah, we've got a cool
Oh,
key.
wow. That is
Oh,
a monster size skeleton key. My very first one, the only one I've ever dug.
yeah.
And I was on a collaboration hunt with Red Beam 58 in his neck of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I about gave him a heart attack when I yelled when I found that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because that's a big item to lose. You know, when you think about it, you
Well,
know, people walking, when you lose a key that size,
if you could hold that key, Frank, you would say they carried this heavy thing
yeah,
around in their
yeah,
pocket. I
yeah,
mean, it's huge and it's very heavy. It's solid brass.
yeah. Well, that's why, like, you know, when you look at the size and the weight of it, you think, okay, if somebody dropped it, they would have kind of, oh, geez, when pockets are light, you know, like I
Yeah,
lost
you would
something.
have thought.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
think, you know, but yeah, it's kind of a cool thing to
Well,
find for sure.
I found it out in the field. You know, we have no idea if the house was bulldozed down or what, but
Yeah,
there was
yeah.
no house there anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
So
what is that made out of? Is it brass also, or?
that's solid brass too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real cool find. It just and it's nice to have that patina on that. You know, it just
Hmm.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then now we're
Oh yeah.
1907.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I was digging in the mud. I don't know, can't remember if that was last spring.
Yeah.
I think it was last spring.
Mhm.
I think. I can't remember for sure. I lost track of times the last 3 years, but that came from my home side of tragedy. It was in the springtime when I dug it, and it was a mud puppy there. It was so muddy. I mean, I almost had to strip down before I got in my car. I was so muddy when I got done.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I about had heart failure when I dug that
Yeah.
because I could see it was bigger than a quarter, but I couldn't tell for sure what it was.
Mhm. Yeah, because I
So,
guess
but it's
you know you get in those
a
farm
bar for
fields.
half.
Yeah, yeah, those farm fields are pretty muddy. So it, you know, by the time you dig everything up, your hands, your machine, everything is just muck. You know,
Yeah,
so yeah, that
yeah,
is a cool thing. In 1907, you know, it just
yeah.
you wonder how many hands that has gone through. You know, over that
Well, it
lifespan.
almost makes me wonder if the farmer just had it in his pocket as a good luck piece or something
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because it was so worn out.
yeah, yeah. And then when you drop that on a table, it still sounds nice, doesn't it?
Oh, it sounds
That
beautiful.
that silver sound, you know,
Yeah.
it just you know you can't beat it, and it doesn't matter whether it's a small little dime or whatever. It just that silver's got that sound that I think has hooked everybody, you know, when
Yeah.
they're looking for stuff. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, very cool. And then here we've got another one. Is
That's at a new permission of mine. That the last few videos, the last 4 videos have been from.
mm-hmm,
And that's a silver plated engraved spoon handle, but it
yeah.
was the whole spoon. Um, and that's the first one I've ever dug that's been engraved.
Wow, yeah, yeah. And again, the graving is just incredible, how they can do that. Nowadays there's
Mhm.
machines you put them into, but those were all hand done, the old days.
Right.
Yeah, so very, very
Well, I'm
cool.
primarily a relic hunter, but I mean, I'll take the coins if I can find them, but I
Yeah,
primarily hunt for relics.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah, it's cool. I mean, and again, the area that you're in, there would be a lot of that stuff that the relics to be found, and so very cool. Yeah, it's a nice find.
Hmm.
This one here.
Oh yeah. That is the largest chunk of crotobell I've ever dug. I have dug a whole crotobell before in that same field,
Uh-huh.
but it was like cracked on one side and jet black.
Yeah.
I sent it down to Don of Detection Connection to try to do electrolysis on it, see if he
Mm-hmm.
could clean it up because it's just so black.
Yeah.
But this was this fall, and I felt really bad for Treasure Troll because I invited him up. He's another YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
I invited him and his friend up to come dig, and he texts me on my phone. He goes, "I just found a chunk of crotobell," and I walked over to see it, and he goes, "So what'd you find?" I said, "A chunk of crotobell." "Well, let me see it." "I don't want to show it to you. You're going to get mad at me." He goes, "What?" He had his chunk of crotobell in his hand, and I pulled this out of my bag, and he goes, he throws his chunk of crotobell. I said,
Oh,
"I'm
yeah.
sorry."
Yeah. Well, that is
I went and
always,
picked up his chunk. I said, "You keep this.
yeah. I mean, that
It
is
still
everybody's
counts. It
wish,
doesn't
isn't it?
matter that mine's bigger."
Yeah, yeah. It
Oh,
doesn't matter. It's just finding that bell is the thing. I know Nancy has Ambient Girl is her. That's her wish too, is to get that quota bell, and I think she has found one now.
I think she's found
Yeah.
one.
So
Yeah.
that was yeah. So that's pretty cool. I guess like being in the farming neck of the woods, there should be plenty of those, but they're still very hard to find.
Yeah,
And
I
then
find lots of pieces, but normally when they fell off, they normally didn't fall off whole.
yeah, yeah.
Or if they did, it was because the leather broke that, to the harness they were on, or, after it broke, the field, you keep tilling it and tilling it
Yeah,
and tilling
yeah,
it, the plow
yeah,
messes them up.
yeah. Because I forget, I was watching someone's video, and they actually found one with the little thing inside, and it still worked. So
Yeah.
it just survived all those years, and it's still working bell. Which is pretty cool to have. So it's,
Yep, it does happen. It
yeah,
does
yeah.
happen.
No, that's neat. And then this one here.
That's my find of a lifetime.
Tell us about
That's my
this.
number one top relic to date.
Yeah.
That is the upper part of a GAR, which is Grand Army of the Republic
Mm-hmm.
pin. The Grand Army of the Republic was a what do you call it? Like a fraternal order for
Mm-hmm.
Civil War veterans. And this meant a lot to me, even though it wasn't from my family. I
Yeah.
got Chris, the outdoorsy gal, texting me. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Um, and that was one of my favorite videos. Not
yeah.
maybe one of my top favorite videos that I ever made because I was able to tell my grandfather's story
Mm-hmm.
and that. But I started finding military relics. I found this with the simplex. This was
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
second military find that I found with the simplex, but I was finding military buttons with the T2 at
Mm-hmm.
that same site.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Well, that's what I'm all.
this would have had a ribbon hanging from it.
Mm-hmm.
Some had ribbons with medallions at the end. Some
Yeah.
had just ribbons. So I'm
Yeah.
still looking for a medallion in case there was one.
Yeah.
But the fabric is gone. So
Now those sharp pointed things, or is that kind of goes into the fabric to hold on to?
into the fabric. Yep, that would
Oh,
go into the fabric.
okay. And again, the material.
There would have been a brass bar with holes that those went into.
Okay.
The brass bar would have had the fabric ribbon rolled up inside of it
Yeah.
with those holes, and that would stick inside those holes, those three
Oh,
holes.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That
I
is.
haven't found the brass bar yet
Yeah.
or the
Wow.
ribbon. So
Yeah. That, and again, it's that's the patina on that is just, it's so cool, and still, you can see all the detail. It just,
oh
all
yeah.
those years, the detail is still there, and
Yeah.
yeah. So wow, that's a nice find to have. So
Yeah. That's my top relic so far.
okay, okay. So that was all of the photos that I've had from Deej. Like we're coming up to about an hour, and I don't know out in the chat if there's anybody that has any questions for Deej that that we haven't asked or we haven't talked about that they're curious. So put it in the chat, and we'll ask her while she's still here. Everybody's quiet out there, Deej. They're all quiet. Yeah. So, but yeah. Oh well, what can you say? They're like you go into an auditorium and you want people to talk. Everybody just kind of shuts up. So nobody wants to be the first to say anything in there. But
Right.
but anyway, listen, it was a pleasure talking with you, and
Okay.
I just I hope people out in the audience had learned something more about you, and how you do your metal detecting and the things you find in Michigan and your area. And I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed your shows, watching your streams, and being part of that community, which is really nice. It's just everybody kind of comes, and it's almost like you've known each other forever, and
Right.
which is
Right.
which is wonderful. It really is. So
Yeah.
and
Well, live streaming is new to me right now. I mean, I've only used StreamYards twice. Before
yeah.
that, I just used my phone to live stream.
Well, you're doing a great job. You really are
So
doing a great job of it. So
I need some help learning how to screen share because something happened last night and I still haven't figured out why it wouldn't screen share for me.
yeah, I mean that gets a little tricky too. Even like I say with my system too. I try to have things set up and ready to go, and my scenes and what have you.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then these overlays, like you see what I have here, I try to, again, I'm trying to promote and help in other channels out there. If somebody sees it, I've got the names of Indiana
Yeah, you got all the
Tones,
names of
yeah,
people on there.
I try to,
That's cool.
and that's the thing. I think this community is, as we all try to help one another to grow, because it's hard. It really is to get your channel, to be out there and
Oh yeah, for
have the
sure.
numbers up,
It takes
so
a lot of patience. A lot of
yeah,
patience.
yeah. And it's just, for people to sub you and hitting that bell and to be notified, when you're uploading, it just would be just great to have that in there. So, and,
Right.
there's some great, Nancy, she is such a sweetheart. She just helps everybody out in the live
Yep.
streaming, and I thank her for coming here and helping out with us here moderating. So and I'm going to get out and detect with you guys as soon as this thing's over.
Right.
I'll be towing my trailer out your way and doing that coast. But
So
yeah.
you're in the Ontario area, right?
No, I'm right across. I'm out by Seattle. I'm just above Seattle.
Oh, you're way across the.
Oh.
Oh, that's right. You're Pacific time.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah, way over there.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's a long ways across. So but yeah, but we'll get out there. At that part of the states I haven't seen, and the falls is really the time to get out there to see the colors changing and what have you.
Right.
So we will. Like
Yep.
once things are getting back to norm for sure.
Right. For sure.
But
I can't wait for that.
yeah, yeah. But Deej, I'm going to let you go. I've got a mail call I'm going to do. So,
Okay.
and I'll let you go. And thank you for coming on. And we'll talk to you in the very near future. You know.
Well,
So
thank you so much for inviting me. I
yeah, no,
appreciate
I
that.
really enjoyed it, and it's just wonderful talking with you. You know, it's just you know, getting a woman's side of metal detecting. You know, it's just great. So.
Mhm.
So thank you. I'm going
All right.
to I'm going to go
Thank you.
on and we'll do the mail call. So anyway, hey gang, it's just I thought I'd just kind of go on. I've got mail call here from the oops over here. We'll do the JJHHH. You know, I think most people know where it's from, and so. I just wanted to see what we got here. It just arrived. You know, Diggin Richmond dude. Look at that, eh? The dude. Yeah. From the dudes. I just let me see what we got in here. Thank you. Look at that. Thank you. Very cool. Woo. I got some goodie. Congrats on winning giveaway number 2 of our 12 Days of Christmas. So this goes back to Christmas still. You rock. Thanks for all your support. ATB and HH. Aurora, Audra, and Rachel from Jersey History Hunters. So, yeah, so they sent me some cool stuff. Sticker. I'm going to add to my board. And something that we don't get up here in Canada is we got some dimes and a penny here. I don't have any of these, so it's the coolest thing. I don't have my little second camera on to get close-ups of it, but I'll show it maybe on the next video. So, but yeah, so let me. Here's my board for putting them on there. So I'm going to put them on, and some of these stickers are a little tough to get off, but we'll get them on here and yeah. Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay. So let's see. Find a great spot for them. Right below Metal Sharks and beside Diggin Richmond. There we go, right there. So Metal Sharks, Jersey History Hunters, Diggin Richmond, Deej, Diggin with Deej is here. Wish me luck up here. Brooklyn. Brooklyn's coming on Friday, so hit that bell to be notified. But we're talking with Brooklyn on Friday. At I believe it's the same time frame as we have today, so make sure you come by and see what Anthony's up to in his neck of the woods. So anyway, thank you very much for coming and adding on, and I'm just going to add a couple of these people on here. So let me go through the chat and just thank DF Digger, We Dig It. Thanks for coming. Again, as I've been talking with We Dig It, we're going to be, they're going to be coming on my show also. So I have them all already scheduled. DF Digger, Clark's Cove Detecting. Thanks for coming. I've got Mayor's Videos. Marlon's always there to help out with the videos. And Brooklyn Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming. Madison, Maine. Richie, hey. Thanks for coming along. And Alabama Dirt Digger, thank you. Mark the Berg Hunter, thanks for coming. And of course, our ambient girl, Nancy, you know, where would be without her? So it's just been a great day. Let's see who else we've got. If I missed anybody, Madison. Oh, Drum Detect, thanks for coming. Mark Thomas, of course, Mark Thomas. Thanks for coming along. Official Gold Digger. Welcome, CJ. Thanks for coming. Glad you could make it. Copperheads. Joe Copperheads. They were in the chat here. Mama's gone detecting. Brenda, thank you for coming. And yeah, so she's going to be helping with some questions for our trivia coming up, and for the next one. Let's see who else we have here. Did I miss anybody else? I don't think so. I think we got everybody. Oh, Outdoorsy Gal. Oh, yes. Hi. Welcome. And yeah, so thanks for coming. Let's see. I think we've got everybody. Mayor's video. Yeah, we've got everybody. So thank you. So I'm going to leave you all here. And if you have some questions I could put into trivia, please email them to me, and I'll do up a little slideshow again at the beginning. And I'm also working for some coin hunting trivia also. That's going to be a little different than my initial ones that I have on here, the live stream. But working on them questions, so yeah. All right. Anyway, so thanks for coming, and I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you Friday. Don't forget Friday. We've got Brooklyn Treasure Hunter coming up. Cheers.
Thank you.